Oh, hello, yeah. Well, good grief. Midweekish, isn't it? Yes. I think as Crichton said about last Tuesday, yes, when we did all that ironing. Won't see days like that again. But one does get the sense of sands shifting, perhaps in the Gramscian idea about a war of manoeuvre. Certainly the right are, well, tasting blood, I think. And whenever you get governments that just merely appease right wingers, what tends to happen is, well, you get that kind of appeasement thing, don't you, with, historically right wingers. So I'm expecting various people to invade Austria quite soon, or at least they're looking at the Rhineland with smacking lips. Yeah, we had this from Keir Starmer, who apparently stands in front of a Union Jack always, or rather sits in front of a Union Jack always. I mean, I don't trust people that use flags like that. Don't know about you, I just think intrinsically if someone just uses a flag as a prop, it's a bit dodgy. But you would have thought that a decent left winger, an actual left winger, would, stand up to this. And perhaps we might see that from Zach and the Greens. Come on to him in a bit. But you can sense these kind of movements of things. The uproar that was greeted with Graham Linehan being arrested once again yesterday, and predominantly yesterday, was really something to behold. We did have the Free Speech Union, who are perfectly happy with blind people in wheelchairs being arrested for holding signs, because after all they're terrorists. But apparently it's absolutely dreadful when a rather nasty bigot gets his life mildly complicated because he's a nasty bigot. Does kind of show you a direction of travel. So anyway, they'll be assisting Graham Linehan, which is good for him, because why should he pay for his own bigotry? After all, you can pay his legal fees, can't you? I don't think J.K. Rowling will, however. No. Anyway, he is up in front of the beak very soon for, he's been charged with assault. I'm not saying he's guilty of assault, but you do see a certain direction of travel with certain people, don't you? Anyway, that's Graham, and that's free speech in this country. Obviously, it'd be awful, wouldn't it? Speaking of which, you can see the whole kind of closing in on people and making sure they don't say the wrong thing whatsoever with this ridiculous story about Coldplay, who potentially are the world's least political band ever, and I mean that in a world where Simply Red or Sade exists. Yeah, Coldplay's Chris Martin's accused of dehumanising Israeli fans. Yes, apparently they came up on stage, and when they said they were from Israel, some people booed, and he said, we must treat all people equally. Well, apparently it's very, very bad if you do that to, the wrong people. Now, the intriguing thing about that story is there is no word from the two fans who went on stage, who may or may not be unhappy, but lots of people are deciding to be unhappy on their behalf, which is big of them. Anyway, dear God, why would anyone go and see Coldplay? Dear God. Moving on from that, again, we can see that certain figures on the right are deciding that they're going to park their tanks very much on any lawn available. Did have to smile at this from Charlotte Gill, who, again, I don't know who pays her. Might be interesting to find out. Corbynism and the Greens are one and the same. Yes, environmentalism is being used as a Trojan horse for international socialism. Yes, the commies are becoming everywhere. You can see that because, they're left-wingers. Yeah, look at that Zach. Yeah, he wants to do all commie things, doesn't he? And he's also concerned about the environment. But he's not really concerned about the environment. He's concerned about getting communism in front of you. Anyway, you can read some of that if you can be bothered to pay her. I personally couldn't. I only read the opening part of it. But I was really intrigued by everyone's favourite Alex Phillips, who managed to write this. The powerful left-wing cabal, notice the use of K there, be awful if someone spelt things wrong in the title, you won't catch me doing that, running the country into the ground. Yeah, you can see what she's done there. Yeah, you could use of brackets. The global socialist Fabian Society's symbol is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Quite apt. What you're about to read should scare you. Yes, indeed. And there, Alex goes into the history of communism, which apparently is responsible for loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of dead people, so it's a bad thing. And apparently various people in government are tied through the Labour Party to the Fabian Society. Now, for those of you that don't know about the Fabians, think Lib Dems, okay? They are to a socialist what the Lib Dems are. They are to the Conservative Party what the One Nation Conservative Party is, the Conservative wing of it is, yeah? They are the okay kind of social democratic-y ones, all right? They don't actually want to go back, to a sort of Cambodian year zero. Don't think I've ever heard a Fabian say that. They more want to go back to year whenever's convenient for you, if you don't mind, yes. And as for all of the millions and millions and millions of people that Stalin killed, well, the Fabians would probably suggest some sort of perhaps going back to Red Dwarf, some sort of poster and T-shirt campaign to get them to change their minds. I'm sorry, Alex, but if you're going to label Fabians as dangerous communists, then I would have to call you a fascist. Still, that is indeed the direction of travel, isn't it? But of course I would be wrong to call Alex a fascist, because we mustn't use intemperate language. We'll leave that to Graham Linehan, and he can be defended by, well, Alex and Charlotte and Toby Young, Lord Young's boy, and all the rest of them. Meanwhile, the rest of us will have to keep our mouths shut, lest we get called communists, who inherently are very, very bad, yes. Not like those appeasers, of course, or indeed the people that take advantage of appeasers. Again, there's that historical parallel. Appealing, isn't it? We do live, indeed, in interesting times, yes. Thinking of me Gramsci there, yes. Certain quotes I always like to come back to. Do have a lovely, lovely Thursday if you can do. It's damp, innit? Autumnal. But at least I get to wear a very snuggly hoodie. Do like a bit of Viv on me bod when it's a bit nip. Do take care.